This presentation is designed for people hoping to improve their ability to study and work at home. The following areas are covered: distance, how this is not a vacation, quicksand distractions, consideration of others, and goal setting. The term social distancing is everywhere, but in the age of social media and online communication, I recommend the term physical distancing. Social distancing equates to this. However, it's the physical distance that matters the most. So during this time period of isolation, be aware of the physical spaces to you and do your best. Also, be honest with those around you. And related to physical distance is the absence of traffic. Certainly its removal will save you time that will likely be lost on distractions, arguments at home, and overindulgent splurges. So manage things carefully because you might end up missing that alone time in a car. Primarily though, so long as you keep a physical distance, it's important to maintain communication with your colleagues, classmates, family, and especially yourself. Workplaces already using apps like Slack have probably transitioned more easily to working from home because of that familiar online communication. Essentially, the 21st century 4 C's of critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity have never been more important. Working from home and or studying from home does not equal vacation. To help, dedicate time and thought to figuring out an at-home work location. You might have a space you've used before. Full day, 5-day use is different though. Consider your posture and ergonomics as well as possible disruptions and needs of other people you live with. The time and consideration you dedicate to your work location will be worth it long term. When it comes to eating, set boundaries and rules, then stick to them. Remember, our bodies are mostly still in hunter-gatherer mode. Overeating should happen rarely, like after a big hunt or when your group stumbles upon a tree loaded up with fruit. Otherwise, focus on sustenance. Avoid eating late at night and maybe spread out the time between dinner and breakfast with no snacking in between. Maintaining a consistent sleep and daily schedule will also help your productivity and cognitive load. Thinking you can take the time saved from commuting and adding it to a binge watching routine is a very bad idea. Most importantly, I suggest you figure out a consistent wake up time and routine for getting started early in the morning. Exercise is also important. I recommend you do this either right away in the morning or when your working from home day ends. Try to get outdoors when you can and avoid gyms in busy places. Ultimately, exercise, especially aerobic exercise, is good for the brain, and an active brain uses more calories than any other part of our body. Combined with healthy eating, those 3 areas are the pillars to a healthy body. When it comes to quicksand activities, there are known pitfalls to be aware of. Make sure you communicate with the most important people in your life. Otherwise, things go bad fast and you have trouble focusing after. Water breaks are also healthy, but only when you can avoid distractions and other enticing treats. Whenever possible, it's probably best to just avoid your kitchen. Make sure you communicate and plan time during breaks, lunch, and after work to get these chores done though. Similarly, online and TV news are easy to find time sinks. Minimize them as much as possible. Lastly, with social media, avoid posting during your work hours. Otherwise, you'll find yourself returning and returning to see if anyone liked or commented. It makes sense to use the 21st century skills 4 C's to solve our current 21st century problems. However, I think a fifth C could be consideration for others, known and unknown. Most people live with roommates, significant others, kids, and or pets. And if you're working from home now and they're home too, things become awkward real fast without critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, and consideration. To help, set some rules, boundaries, and expectations regarding space, cleaning, meals, parenting, and the like. But remember the emphasis on some. Don't get carried away. Start early and establish your spot and your plans for getting things done. Dress the part and act like you're working to the point where you actually get work done. Also, try to avoid scheduling meetings during meal times, another reason to avoid the kitchen. And lastly, try to stay positive and with a sense of humor. And for parents with kids at home, I've provided some helpful links in the description section below. Last but not least, you'll want to set SMART goals. Start each morning with do list for the day. Write them down and monitor your progress. And make sure your goals align with previous plans you're yet to finish. Even better, communicate and collaborate. Let others know what you plan on doing. And make plans for breaks, unless your kids are allowed to draw on the walls. Also, take notes for your needs and wants throughout the day. It isn't smart to stop and deal with each of these, but you can jot them down so you remember them later on. And as you complete each workday, take a few minutes to reflect on your progress and efficiency. Then, finally, reconnect with the most important parts of your life. And that's it. Make sure to check the presentation video description for helpful links and email me your questions.